oh, it's fine, he must be having a bad day, or we all forget, or irritation first. I don't know about you, but irritation first. I have to take a deep breath and then think, that person could be having a bad day, or is it worth getting angry? Probably not. Good day everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaylin and this is Foundation First. At Foundation First, our aim is to bridge a gap between home and school by empowering both parents and teachers to provide children with learning opportunities through developmentally appropriate avenues. So today we are going to be talking about emotional development in young children. This will be covering birth to 7 years old. These are where the real formative years of emotional development begin, and why it is important to take it into consideration and know how children grow and develop. One thing to know about human beings as a whole is that we are not rational beings with the ability to be emotional. We are emotional beings with the ability to be rational. It is important that whatever happens to us, emotions come first, then after the emotions, we can then choose to be rational. Emotions override rationality almost 100% of the time. Maybe this is hard for you to grasp, but at the end of the day, this is true. Just think about it. You're in the car, somebody pulls up in front of you without an indicator. What do? Do you think, oh, it's fine, he must be having a bad day, or we all forget, or irritation first? I don't know about you, but irritation first. I have to take a deep breath and then think, that person could be having a bad day, or is it worth getting angry? Probably not. Beginning at birth to 1 year old. The most important initial step in child's emotional development is attachment. The first thing that a child needs to do is attach to their primary caregiver. This is the way that they build trust and know who to go to when they are scared, in danger, etc., and where they need to go for safety. This lays the foundation of emotional resilience and security. And at that stage, as we know, how do infants communicate what they're feeling? It's by movements, non-verbal cues, and of course, crying. If you are parents, you will know that there is certain cries that your baby has that you know that's an ouch cry, that's a hungry cry, etc. Cries are an essential way and the only way that infants can express their need. And it's important to know that during this time, even though it might be exhausting, even though you might want to let a child cry it out, etc., a caregiver's constant responses is crucial during this time, as responsive care develops trust and understanding of emotion in relation to the environment. Next is 1 to 3 years of age. So during this point, children are starting to develop their independence. They're starting to crawl, they're starting to walk, they're starting to be mobile. So, wow, I'm actually not just another limb of my mother. So during this time, they are realizing that they are, okay, well, I'm separate from my mom. I can now do my own things. I can explore on my own. At this stage, children have a great desire for independence. Emotions become more intricate. Children use gestures, facial expressions, and eventually words to convey their feeling. And as we all know at this point in time, tantrums are very common. This is where these tantrums start to surge. Again, this is not an intention to be disobedient. It's not an intention to be rude or naughty. This is a normal part of child development, and it is something that is very intentional. They're learning their boundaries, and as the adults in children's lives, it is important that we hold boundaries. That's the safety that they're looking for, and it's important that we are consistent. This stage is crucial for cultivating self-awareness and the capacity to identify and name main types of emotions. These emotions are anger, sadness, happiness, and fear. Eventually, they'll break up into more nuanced emotions, but these are the main ones that children have at this time. It is important, as children are starting to learn to talk, that we name the emotions that they are feeling, help them give names to it, and model how to work through emotions. When we do this, it allows children to manage their emotions and name it and be able to speak to their emotions and what they are experiencing, helping us as the adults in the children's life guide them through those emotions. Next is ages 3 to 5. This is during the preschool stage. During this time, children are really starting to get into their language development. This is the point where emotions start becoming more nuanced. They start to develop a wider range of words for their emotions as their vocabulary and their language skills grow. Again, once we name these emotions and we talk about the children's emotions and what they might be feeling, for example, you can name what you see the child feeling. You can say, oh, I see that you are feeling frustrated, or I can see that you're really angry, etc. This will help them build their vocabulary and also help you better understand what they're feeling and why. During this time is when children start to develop a deeper understanding of empathy and understanding other people's emotions. That's why very often you'll hear adults in children's lives saying, if a child may have made a poor choice by hitting somebody else, you often hear adults saying, how would it make you feel? Very often children will react on impulse. They're not empathetic, and this is important to develop their empathy. Empathy is developed and scaffolded by the adults around children. So it's important that we name these experiences and talk children through. How would you feel if Tom hit you? Or how would you feel if Tom snatched the toy away from you? They will then speak about the emotions, how it made them feel, and practice understanding that the other person is feeling what I would feel if it happened to me. During this time, play assumes a crucial role in a child's emotional exploration. These include imaginative scenarios, mirroring feelings and experiences. And during this time, skills like taking turns, sharing, and conflict resolutions are practiced. As you'll know with younger children, these skills don't just come innately. This is something that they need to learn. And it is also scaffolded and guided by adults in children's lives. We need to speak to the children and talk about sharing, name what it is, express how something might make them feel, and speak about how this is just one toy and there's many children. Let's think about how we can all get a turn to play with a toy, giving some time to this child and another time to the other child. And lastly is ages 5 to 7 years old. These are the early school years. And as children develop more and more into the early school years, their emotional development continues to grow. Even more nuanced emotions like jealousy, pride, shame, these all become more apparent as the child gets a bit older. And as children get older during this time, cognitive growth supports a better understanding and management of emotions. And as this comes along with the ability to identify certain emotions and emotional cues in others, enables them to respond appropriately. So that's just a basic outline of emotional development in children from birth to 7 years old. The biggest thing for us as adults to understand and remember when thinking about children and their emotional development and their emotional reactions is it's not personal. When children react to something, it's very often not about you, it's about them and what they are feeling. They are not wanting to disobey you. They're not wanting to hurt your feelings. They're not doing it to annoy you or frustrate you. And if it does feel like that, then you need to think about, okay, is there a connection that needs to be made? Or think further at what could be done and what is the underlying reason as to why this child may be reacting like this. It's important for us as adults to guide children and name emotions and scaffold their understanding of emotions and how to deal with the emotions in children's lives for them to be able to better cope with their emotions as they get older. It is also important to understand that every child is different. Some children will be a little bit more emotionally intelligent than others. Some children will be more sensitive. Some children will be more fiery. Some children will be calmer and more understanding when situations happen. Some children will have more meltdowns than others. And you know what? That is okay. That is just life. That is us as humans. We all have different temperaments and we all meet children where they are as individuals. Some children, it will be harder, but I can promise you, I've seen it happen in real time. Even though children may be struggling for a number of years with meltdowns, the outcomes at the end of it all those years that you have worked to scaffold the emotional development of these children comes out. The strategies, naming emotions, the asking for help when needed, and understanding the impact of what they are doing on other people. So keep your head up. It's hard to be an adult in a child's life, but you're doing a great job, even just by being here. So thank you so much. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give this video a like. It tells the algorithm that you like what you see. And please subscribe so you can keep up to date and all the videos that I have coming up. And I'll see you in my next one.